Hello and welcome to our toolbar module in Metatrader. Let's jump straight in by exploring the standard toolbar, which is right here. And here's something else about toolbars is you can grab them and you can move them. There we go. You have to get a hold of them. Sometimes they don't seem like they want to be that cooperative. And we move it over here. There we go. Let's move this back here to standard place. Okay. First up, as you notice when you hover over an object here, it tells you exactly what that particular component of the toolbar does. Here, new chart. Next one is profiles. Back to the default. On profiles, new profile 1, profiles, candlestick profile 1. And our standard here, EURUSD candlestick profile 1. Okay, now we can go here, and what this will do is it will toggle open and close the market watch window. Okay, there we go, market watch. Okay, and while we're here at the market watch window, let's just expand that out so you see what that looks like. Also down here you can see that you can take a look at a tick chart. Moving along. Close that back off. And I'll put it back over in its standard position. Right there. Now you can arrange this really any way you'd like. So if you want to toggle that off, you can do that. Leave that off as well. On to the next. Data window. Click here. And as we hover our mouse over the price, we can see the date, time, open, high, low, close, and volume of each of the bars right here. A lot more volume in the weekly bars, quite obviously. And daily, less volume, 4 hours. And hourly, of course, since that's our smallest time frame. We go back here and click again, and it closes the data window. Navigator, we can toggle the navigator along with the market watch off if we want 4 charts thusly. When we arrange those charts, we can simply go tile them that way. Now, if we want those market watch and navigator windows back, we click here, we click here. You see this is out of skew, so we go back over here and we're all set. Everything's looking good. Let's scroll back up here, give us more room in the navigator window down here. Alright, terminal, that can be toggled on and off as well. Strategy tester for testing strategies. That's a more advanced topic. If you're going to test strategies, that's always a good thing. Oftentimes, when you make the purchase or lease of a commercially available Forex expert advisor, they give you ways to backtest their own strategy. So you may want to experiment with that as well. Meta editor, we've explored that before. And close that window. Expert advisors. This will activate an expert advisor if there happens to be one in that particular window. Matter of fact, let's take a look at how that works. I'll take the simple moving average advisor and I left click and drag it into the window here. I'll put on allow live trading. And as you can see here, there is an X through that. Okay, right through here. I'll go over here and click on Expert Advisor, and you'll see the smiley face. The smiley face indicates that the Expert Advisor is active and ready to go. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go down here, Expert Advisors. All right. All right. Now let's continue along to the new order window. All right, there's our new order window showing our bid and ask prices, also showing our buttons for buying and selling, either at the market, which is indicated by instant execution, or pending orders, which we have opportunities to do buy limits, sell limits, buy stops, sell stops, etc. And that covers the standard toolbar. Okay, we're going to pop right over here to the charts toolbar. Now, clicking on this transforms this chart into a bar chart. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this chart larger. Clicking on that takes it back to candlesticks again. Clicking on this makes it a line chart, in which the line is composed of the closing prices of the bars of this particular period. This is an hourly bar, so those are all hourly closes there. Can zoom, make those candlesticks look nice and pretty. Can zoom out the other direction. Okay, and as you can see, zoom in. See how the chart pops over there. Zoom out. Now watch it go back to the right. That's because this is set to on. That's auto scroll. You can toggle auto scroll off or on, and for our purposes currently we're leaving it on. Chart shift allows you to move the chart away from the right side, creating a bit of room in between the actual last price of the chart and the price listing here in this right hand column. Show you what that looks like. Where this comes in useful is if you're doing studies and say you have a trend line of some sort, you need more room to the right in order to see where the prices are going to go. So this gives you just a bit more room to the right if you're looking at that particular type of trend line. Now that was drawn arbitrarily for everyone who's saying, hey, wait a minute, that doesn't look like a legitimate trend line. And you can move that, kind of toggle it there. Okay, so I'll take that trend line, which is going to be on the objects list, and I'll just delete that, and I'll set that back to normal there. Okay, this is our indicator button right here. We can see lots of different indicators, also classified by the category of indicator: trend, identification indicators, oscillators. There's an example of stochastic, just show you a number of indicators on a chart. Oftentimes traders will use indicators in combination and use one indicator to confirm the trend that is shown by another indicator. I was trying to think of the right way to say that, but it basically it's can be used as a confirmation mechanism. So it can, say for instance, we're looking at going long when the price closes above this particular moving average. Then we may look down at stochastics and we may say, well, that's over the 80 threshold. I may not want to go long at that particular place because it's already on the overbought side. Again, these are some general interpretations. At that point in time, perhaps I'd look to go long somewhere else where there's good confirmation that the indicators are lined up and that I have the best possible opportunity for a move in my chosen direction. Okay, so let's take these off. Delete the indicator, and we're back down here to normal. Okay. All right, so that's very handy. You can add as many of these as you want. It also shows your custom indicators, ATR, which is average true range, ATR period is very, very handy indicator. It's basically an indicator of volatility. This is a 14 period average true range. And when the average true range goes up, means the market is more volatile. When the average true range goes down, means the market is less volatile at that particular time. And as you can see here, this lower average true range for this particular time period, and you look at the chart and you see the types of, well, we scroll back automatically, but you see the types of bars that we're looking at right there. So that's another handy indicator. Okay, go to indicators list. Now indicators, they're like anything else. Again, and I'm certain we'll have an opportunity to chat about this in the future, but indicators are like anything else. They are a tool. Some people prefer to use that tool. Other people prefer to not use that tool because of strange experiences they may have had. But it makes sense that some people will be successful using indicators, others won't. Using the right tool for the job is the correct thing to do. Trying to use a screwdriver to nail a nail into wood is not the correct way to go. And therefore, make certain that you are using the right indicator for your desired results. Templates. Another great quick way of grabbing some templates here. Go down bar chart. Here's our bar chart template that we used. Candlesticks 1 is our standard candlesticks template, so you can always access templates there very, very quickly. Now our next section is the line studies toolbar. And here, this is our standard cursor. Let's go here to this nice little crosshair. As you can see here, little crosshair. Here's a vertical line. You draw a vertical line for a number of reasons. Perhaps you're interested in looking for some type of period where you're looking for periods of tops and periods of bottoms, etc., trying to time things along that particular way, or you're trying to identify maybe, I want to turn off auto scroll, an area of consolidation perhaps, and you want to say look at something along these lines. So okay, when we get out of this particular spot right here, that would be good. We'll be breaking out of that little consolidation. Again, that's just off the cuff example. You can hit Control B, or you can right click to get the objects list and delete all those objects just like that. Auto scroll's not on, so let's remember that. Okay, horizontal line, same thing. This is good for observing levels of support and resistance. You see support forming down here, resistance forming up here, more resistance bouncing off that level and staying in this kind of wide channel. Double click on any of the lines, horizontal or vertical, or you can double click on it to see the properties, or you can right click, go to horizontal lines properties, and change the properties there. Or there's another way to do it. Go to the objects list, find the horizontal line. This is 1350. That's the current one we're working on, but just to show you, you can see right there that it says horizontal line 1350. I don't think I'm as good at double clicking on it as most people are. But you can change the value of this as well as some of the simple parameters here, the thickness, etc. So pop it in here. And let's say we want to change this horizontal line to this area up here, 1.49780. 1.49780 should pop right up to that line there. And you can also alternatively hold down your left mouse button and drag the horizontal line as well. If I wanted to go to a specific price, it's just easier for me to type the price in. Sometimes if I'm trying to drag it to a precise place, even as I'm trying to do this here now, and I get pretty close. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. So you've got to, now you see it's still not the exact number. It's 1.49779 rather than 1.49780. It is close, but when you want precision, it seems simpler to type that number in. I'm going to go here to Objects List. I'm going to select both of those and delete both of those objects. Let's continue on to the trend line. Very, very handy tool. And let's grab ourselves a trend line. Trend lines are used to see when there are changes. Now you left click and then you angle your trend line the way you want it to go. And the trend line should contain the bulk of the prices in any direction. You can see it falling out of the trend here and consequently making some downside movement there. Okay. So you can also take the trend line, double click it for trend line properties, and set the value of each of these if you want to do that. Actually, it's easier for me to kind of move the trend line the way I want it to go. Maybe simplest for you to do this as well. So, but that's that. Okay, objects list, delete the trend line. There we go. All right. Next, we're going to explore the equidistant channel. Okay. go. There we go. Okay. It's just an example. It's one of those things that when you place your anchor somewhere, you have to watch what you're doing. So we probably should let's just do that again, just so you'll see. I'll delete that one. Go up here, we'll grab this, and I left click here, and then I drag. It's easier to do it from a lower point, but hold on. Here we go. Hold on one moment. Equidistant channel. Left click. And go back around to here. Okay, there's the parameters of the channel. Since you got two lines, you've got a couple of different values there that you can change as well. Just a simple trend channel. You could do the same thing with two different trend lines, of course, or the same type of thing. I don't like how that one's come out, so let me delete that. But let's grab it just so you'll see. There we go. And grabbing another one. Start off down here. Again, the same type of thing, so just so you'll see. All right. And there we are. We're back. Now we're going to move on to Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so I'll click here. I'll pick a point that I want to start at, and we'll start right here. I'll left click, and I'll go to my other point, my secondary point, and I'll let go. And here are all of the Fibonacci retracement lines right here. See, it comes up 23, 38.2. There's basically 50% retracement, 61, all the way back to 100. Now, isn't it interesting how it comes up to 100 and then completely reverses, goes back down, basically a 100% retracement of this prior move right here, and then starts to move back up again, back up to the 100% level. Again, that's how many traders get into and out of trades based upon Fibonacci extensions as well as Fibonacci retracements. Let's go here, objects list, and here, let's select it. You can edit it as well. See Fibo levels, you can set the levels up here. The values of your 2 points as well. I'm going to delete that, and we're going to move on to the next part of the line studies menu. Text. Click text, and there we have text. So if you want to label something, now this particular text label is text, but you could change that to anything you want. More text, for instance. There we go. You can move the text around as well if you want to. And lots of other things you can do with it. Text properties, you can see here. You could change the color of it. I'm going to go with teal, no problem. You want to change the name of it? You can do that too. Call it text 2010, for instance. You see when you hover over it, that's the text label that it has as well. I just hit delete. Text label. You want to label something in particular. Top left corner gives you lots of different places you can place things here. Okay, let's hit this. Now this is different than just straight text because, as you can see, this label does not move as we go back and forth on the chart. So where the label is back here. There we go. Now that can be handy if you want to label, say you're having a particular study, and you might want to call it moving average studies, for instance. Okay, there we go. Sorry, consistency there. And it could be set up here as moving average studies. Pretty straightforward. Very handy as well. The fact that it doesn't move is nice. You won't have to change that that text label all the time. Okay, just highlight it and hit delete. And here we have some arrows. Let's take a look at some of these. Objects list. See what kind of changes we can make to this. Determine how thick the arrow is, etc., what color it is. You want to change it to teal or green. You can do that. You can see right here. I keep calling it an arrow. It's thumbs up. Indicates anything that indicates a direction with a point on the end, I typically refer to as an arrow. Let's hit a thumbs down. You might want to color your thumbs down red. Check sign, stop sign, up arrow. And that's handy too when you're doing your studies and you want to indicate that, okay, this is where things moved in this particular point. So, same thing goes for down studies. And stops. So if you're selling short, you may want to place a stop up here. And the nice thing about this is you can delete all arrows pretty effortlessly. That's a good thing. All right. That's line studies. Now the next toolbar is what's known as the periodicity toolbar. And you can simply refer to it as the time frame toolbar as well. So here we go. You can change the time frame of any chart simply by clicking on any of these. But you can also do it over here. So it's simple to, I'll turn on auto scroll again. Monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5. Takes a little bit longer to draw. And then a 1. Okay. And this was actually our standard 1 hour chart, so that's it. That's the periodicity menu, and that's how that works. So we've covered. Now the 1 minute data takes a little while to draw, so that's why you'll see this move here as it's working to read the data. All right. Here's 1 minute data. It can be resource intensive too. So looks like it. I had another window pop up in the background. So here we are, back to 1 hour. That's our standard. Back here, we've now explored the 4 toolbars: standard toolbar, the charts toolbar, the line studies toolbar, as well as the periodicity toolbar. You've got a lot of MetaTrader knowledge under your belt: how to change your charts, how to change groups of charts, lots of different things here, how to add an expert advisor to the chart, how to add an indicator to a chart, etc., how to add groups of indicators to a chart. So you are well informed and should be able to work your way around MetaTrader as well as anyone. You are now in a position to start to study the markets and benefit from the fact that MetaTrader is a freely available client terminal with data available from a variety of brokers to allow you to study the markets. Stay a student of the markets and enjoy the process of learning to profit in the exciting world of Forex trading. Thank you very much.